Thanks for tuning in. We're Julie and Dana, two moms navigating marriage and motherhood. But this is definitely not your mom's podcast.
What's up, guys? I'm Julie.
I'm Dana, and this is not your mom's podcast.
No one ain't.
I want to talk about swingers and jealousy in relationships because I think they go hand in hand. And I was on Swinger Talk, and I find it fascinating.
What do you think a swinger is?
Well, I think it could be a lot of things, but
Okay.
I think that a lot of times it could be either like sexually or it could be in a relationship. But it's adding more people to making it a non-monogamous relationship.
So we're talking about.
What do you think a swinger is? Is there a different definition?
I think so.
Okay,
I think there's a umbrella to everything called like ethical non-monogamy if you're doing it that way. Which means like everyone knows it's consensual.
Oh, yeah. I don't think swinging is cheating if they're swinging.
Yeah, true. Okay. And so then you can call it like you're in an open relationship.
Mm-hmm. And
although I think swingers, they swing together. So that wouldn't be open like I can have a boyfriend, you can have a girlfriend. I think swinging is like when the couple goes and plays together. Pretty sure.
Okay.
So that's what I think it is. That's what it means to me, I think. And that it's more sexual, I think, than like relationship.
I agree with that.
Because I think then that would be polyamory.
Yeah.
Or like having a triad or whatever it is. Or a polycule and all. There's all kinds of
Do you think it can work?
To be a swinger?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're two sexual people and I feel like, and I don't know because I don't know about people that are like younger if they need that just yet, but I feel like maybe if you've been in a relationship for a long time and you
like the
think
Sun
it's
City
freaky,
folk.
Yeah, and you're like kind of freaky deaky and you both talk about like your fantasies together and both of you, your fantasies is to like have sex like next to each other or with another group or something. I guess that could work out, like if you're into that.
Yeah. Do you know the highest STD rate is in the elderly population?
Right, probably because they're swingers, right?
Crazy. I think I just think they don't give a shit anymore. They're like,
I don't think I would either.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
My mom used to work at a nursing home, and she said that this man's walker used to be outside of a different woman's room every morning. They would find his walker outside.
I do think that like once you get, and it doesn't apply to like all people, it could apply to them like as 20 and 30-year-olds, but I think we're starting to see a difference in having to just follow what everyone does. The norm, the program norm, which is you get married and you have kids and you live in a house together, or you don't have kids, but you get married or you stay with someone, one person.
Yeah.
Forever. And I don't think anybody ever told me that didn't have to be an option. Like you can love many, or you can have your primary, or you can have like your nest and still have sexual relations with other people, or even have relationships and still have a solid, it doesn't mean like your marriage is wrong or anything, as long as everyone's on the same page.
Well, yeah, everyone definitely has to be on the same page.
Yeah, I think as long as everyone's on the same page.
I just haven't seen it work yet. Like I've never, have you?
Probably because we're not on like the community or the threads or even like going to the parties and stuff.
Right.
But here's what I think. I think if you go into it with problems in your marriage, or maybe if you're not even married, but you're in like a long-term relationship. If you go in with problems, it's not going to end well. It's not a
like
band-aid.
You're trying to fix it that
like
way.
A baby. Like some people just like, let's have a baby to like fix it because we're not happy.
Hell no. That would break me.
I think it's the same thing. And so perhaps what we hear is like, it never worked out or whatever. It's because you already went in failing. Like your relationship was not doing well. Yeah. But if you're like both really good and you're like, let's try something freaky.
Though, like a really special person. I mean, the sexual part of it I can somewhat see, but like to be in a relationship with other people, like I don't know if I could not feel jealousy. Yeah. Are you a jealous person?
I used to be like all up to my life. I'm a Scorpio. That's like we can't. It's like my first impulsive.
Is that too.
It's like my first impulsive feeling. But if you think about it, jealousy is just like a low vibrational emotion, and it doesn't serve you, right?
No, it doesn't. It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah. So the first thing you have to think is, why am I jealous? It's 100% stems from insecurity of some sorts.
Yeah.
So I actually
fear
think,
of like loss, I think.
Yeah. Or just this person is prettier or better, or they're this, and I'm not fulfilling that aspect. So let's think about that. Like, are you supposed to be your person that you spend your life with? They're everything. Best friend, lover, all things in common, every sexual kink, whatever it is. I'm like, that's asking a lot. And I don't think that's, it's a lot of pressure. And I don't think that's actually like, not normal, whatever normal is. But like, I think that if you zoom out and broaden that viewpoint, that you'll figure out that like, it is okay if your partner got along with someone else, even though they love you what you have with somebody is unique because it's just between you and that person. There is no other you, there is no other them. So it's impossible to have that same experience with somebody else.
I mean, I can wrap my head around all of it. I just feel
like logically, I know.
Yeah, like logically I can. I just feel like, how do you take emotions out of it? Like
you don't.
I mean, I will say, if anyone can make it work, I think that they're probably very secure, very confident people,
or they were brave enough to work through the crazy heavy shit that they didn't even know existed.
Also, though, like, bravo to you if you can handle that much. I can barely handle life as is.
Yeah. No,
like,
right. You're somebody that like, I feel like if you're going to do that, you're looking to enhance things.
I don't got time for no enhancements. My kids and husband take up so much time.
True.
I barely can see you.
I know, me too. I feel like that big time in my schedule. I can barely make time for my friends.
How am I supposed to have a whole nother relationship?
You have to find someone that is okay with bare minimum.
True.
If you're in a busy, like there's some people that don't have kids and they are able to have that
time
schedule.
For me personally, I would work on a sugar daddy over like another relationship. Like I need to get something more out of it than just love.
You might be getting more than just love. You don't know. Like you have to broaden your horizons.
I just find it interesting. But yeah, I was on like Swinger Talk at some point, and I just think it's so interesting because I feel like so many of those got so messy, and like a lot of them ended up falling in love. Like you're on like TikTok FYP, and I guess once you watch one, like you start seeing it on your FYP.
Yeah.
And so many of them, like a lot of them, like fall in love with the other person. And then, like, some of them went off with the other people.
So if that happens, then maybe it was meant to be that way.
I guess.
Like, listen, just because you're married, it is not the security blanket that you are going to have a guaranteed successful relationship. You might have stayed married because you have children or you didn't want to get a divorce. You have assets in place.
Oh,
but it doesn't mean anything. And so, like, if you decided to open up your marriage and swing and you fall in love with someone else, well, thank goodness you opened it up and fell in love with someone else. And thank goodness you gave yourself that opportunity if that other person was better for you than the person you were with.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like,
I just feel like I don't think anything is bad. No, I definitely don't think it's bad. And I can definitely see how it works for some
negative
people.
Or whatever.
But I also think it's very likely you will fall in love with someone else. I think at some point, like I don't believe in like the one person soulmate thing.
Yeah.
Like I think that you work hard to stay together. And like there's bumps in the roads and all of that.
I call them seasons.
Yeah,
someone told me there's seasons in your marriage. And I love that.
So I think that like honeymoon phase is always the best phase.
Yeah.
And I think that it's very easy to get captivated by that if you're constantly in that
with
other people.
But I think if you know what's at stake and you've talked to your partner and you know that you're not willing to lose like your nest and your primary, that you don't let yourself fall in love with someone. In other words, how do you fall in love with someone that you only see maybe like once every 3 months? You don't. You put I
think that would be very much swinging versus being in like a polyamorous relationship.
Right. Yeah. But even still in a poly relationship, you're not going to give that person your secondary or you're never going to give what you give to your primary. Some of them all live
together.
True. And that's kind of cool too. Have you even heard of relationship anarchy? Like, I kind of like that. I don't actually know what the definition is.
I'm so curious.
I've heard of it, but I think it means like you're not allowing like any relationship status. Like you're not like married. There's not like a primary. Like it's all who you want to flow. Yeah, like flow with how you feel. With
I feel like
there
can't be kids involved in that.
No, I probably not. Yeah, but I have like seen, I think on Instagram, like these polycool families where they have like 4 people in the home and there is children and they all get to like raise them together.
You have a village, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like if we were like, I like to put this like thought in, which is if I remember like if you were raised and imagine if you were raised with the thought with, hey, you know, when people always say, who do you want to marry? Or like, do you want to get married?
Also a creepy thing to say to a child, but yeah.
Not that. Okay, maybe that's not the right word.
No.
Like,
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
you
start imagining.
That's a thing, though. Like, don't you ever see, like, oh, look, it's his little girlfriend, or it's it's just so funny. Like, why did we start that?
I know. Well, no, just like, imagine if, like, all you were brought up with is, like, I'm so excited when you pick the 3 people you want to eventually, like, have a home with. Mm-hmm. Instead of, like, who's that one special person? All the Hallmark movies, who's that one special person? It really sets us up to believe that like it's all going to work out. And like a lot of people, it doesn't work out. And then you feel like a negative connotation to not having that one special person, failing in relationship, have had 3 or 4 divorces or something like that. Like it gives all that like a bad rep. Like maybe you could have just come into this world thinking, oh, it's going to be really cool if I find someone, or if I find a boy and a girl that I like together, or if I have two wives, or if I have a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and or we all live in this house together, like all four of us. It might be, but like imagine if that was the norm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't feel so strange, and it wouldn't be so strange. And then you can raise a family like and not be like the only person doing the laundry and the working and the pets and the kids and the running and you could have like different date nights and stuff.
That could be our family compound.
I know. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the family compound.
I was just
Are you ready to see my vagina, Dana?
I mean, if that's what we have to do to make everything work. Then...
I like a little smack and a little hair pull. You ready? So it's not all sexual, though. That's what I'm trying to say, too. It's like some people like have their place where like they're more of the like stay-at-home person, and somebody else might be the person that maybe you go out to movies with. I also think people think it's all sex, all kinky, all freaky-deaky all the time. Sometimes people just want to spend time with the person that's like, let's say your significant other wasn't like into... I don't know, it's like a movie buff. You're like, I am not a movie person, but you find somebody that loves movies and you guys can go enjoy movies.
Connection.
A different connection. There it is. It's connection. It's not love. It's not necessarily love. I mean, it is love, but okay, here's my like level range. I always say you have the range of the person you marry or friendship all the way to the person you marry. There's like this huge gap.
I don't think I've ever had a friendship though with like a guy.
Well,
that never
maybe
turned
you
into
need
anything.
To get one. Friendship and marriage. There's this huge ass gap. I call it the gray area. There's all this like area to play and have connections. You don't have to just be friends and then that's it. From friendship, all you get is marriage and that one love, and that's it. And you're not allowed to play with. Huh?
So you're gonna start swinging?
I mean, I'm open to anything. There is opportunity.
We're gonna come over and you're gonna have a pineapple on the front door.
A pineapple?
Yeah.
Is that? Oh yeah, that is the symbol.
Yes.
I'm gonna start wearing pineapple everything. Let's see if someone comes knocking on my door.
Pineapple pasties.
Yeah. Pasties. Oh my gosh. I need a boob job if I'm going to wear pasties.
I know. Well, I agree with you that there's different levels. And I also think that goes into even friendship.
Yeah.
I think there's a big gray area with friendship.
I
think there are categories, especially as I become a mom.
Yeah.
I think mom friends, especially, there's a huge category of a huge gap of categories. Like, I think you have your like basic mom friends, like your acquaintances, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the people that you like talk to outside the dance school or at like an elementary school pick up, and you're like, you never talk about personal stuff. It's very like, shallow base, but you get along, you talk a little bit. Then I feel like you have like that middle ground where you're like mom friends. Like you ask each other for favors. That's the person who might bring your kid home once in a while.
And every once in a while you might go out
together once in a while. They know like a good amount about your life, but like you're not going to just like let it all out.
Yeah.
And then I think you have your like mom besties that like you don't have to think, you don't have to censor.
And you don't have to have your house clean.
You don't have your house, like when nothing matters. Over. You just know they're not going to judge you and like they're not going to misunderstand you. Like it's just going to be
They'll take care of their sick kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's just like a mutual, like there's nothing off the table.
Yeah. I like all those levels.
Yeah. And I think there's purposes for each of them. Like I don't think any one of those is like a bad thing. Like
me either.
But I think that's a thing that is a reason why jealousy exists less as you get older, because I think you understand that everyone has a purpose and not everyone has to have the purpose. Like, not everyone has to be my best friend that's there for me every time I need them. Like, I might just have those mom friends that once in a while we hang out, and that's okay.
Totally. I definitely think, and I think that goes hand in hand with the jealousy. I think if you were in a relationship, like, I think you'll initially have jealousy, but then you're mature enough, and I think maybe that's why I'm not saying that young people couldn't handle it or like
it's
the younger
harder though.
generation.
You're definitely like
you're more established and you have like more at stake.
You're more insecure when you're young.
Yes,
which is funny because it's like should be the most confident you are in your entire life. But like
Dana, if you could go back to your 20s, wouldn't you like definitely wear that crop top that maybe like you thought you weren't going to or whatever?
I had babies at 22, so maybe not.
Okay, 19, 18, whatever.
Yeah, no, I
and
definitely.
You probably still could wear a crop top after you just had that baby. But
but I definitely. I mean, you could wear a crop top whenever,
like,
right?
I feel like any of my insecurities then were so dumb. You know,
my insecurities were dumb, and it wasn't even just based on looks though. Like I was insecure as a person, and I was very jealous in my like late teens, early 20s. Like very jealous, like with friends, with relationships, like all of it. Like you don't want to be replaced. You want to like you want everyone to like you.
Yeah,
like that's what it's all about. You want everyone to like you.
And then when you get older, you're kind of like, and same thing. Like, so I guess if you would like broaden your relationships, if that person like didn't work out for you, you'd be like, cool. Yeah, I hope you have a good life. Like, I hope the best for you. It's like not complicated.
Yeah,
it really
is.
Like
I couldn't have done this in my early 20s. I would have thought everyone was judging me. Now I'm like, whatever.
Oh, I know, me too.
Whatever, judge away.
Judge away, please. Please judge away. Like I want to hear
you miss all the shots you don't take. So
exactly
taking it.
You have to be like a yes person, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's complicated too. To say yes to everything, I pretty much do. But then do we get like overworked and stuff? Maybe. But then just say no when it becomes too much. But I do feel like probably say yes, because if you're not going to say yes, it's due to fear. Fear, I won't have time. Like you were saying, like I wouldn't have time for all these other people. We'll try it and see what happens. If you didn't, you just have to be honest with that person. Like, I thought this would be exciting, but I don't have time. Or
do you think I'm a yes person?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
See, I don't think I always was, though. I think that's something that like came with
children, because you want to make sure like we're all doing.
Well, I definitely was like always down for things. Like I, would always try things and be down for things. But I definitely think that the older I'm getting, the more of a yes person I'm becoming. Okay. I just feel like, why not try something?
Seriously, we're like halfway there in life.
Yeah. Like, whatever.
I don't know. Do you think I'm a yes person?
I think you're a mixed person.
I was going to say, depends on the day, right?
I think you're a yes person with a lot of things, but then sometimes you take me by surprise when you say no, and I'm like, what?
I know. Sometimes I shut down. I'm like, I can't handle anymore at this moment. Yeah. My avatar self just went, must need sleep or must need alone time or whatever. Decompress. I get overstimulated.
Yeah, I don't really get overstimulated.
You're so lucky. I want whatever you have, and
I get overstimulated by like life sometimes, like just by like being busy, but I don't really get overstimulated by people. Like I actually feel like most people recharge me.
I love that. That's the cutest thing.
Like isolation freaks me out.
Oh my God. I like yearn for isolation.
No. Like the idea
all I want to do is be alone in my art room with my music and like nobody. Sometimes I just want all of existence to just
I'm not saying I never want to be alone. I definitely enjoy alone time. I like being able to just like be by myself. But like I need that alone time to be short and sweet. Like I don't want to do that for days on end. Oh my God. Fuck no.
I have so many things I want to do alone, but
I know
we already talked about that.
I know you want 2 weeks by yourself.
I have that the new moon.
We're gonna take off
night.
for 2 weeks and just go somewhere.
And I'm going to make you channel. Actually, you would probably be good at channeling. I follow this one girl, or Trevor follows her, and he sent the link to me that has all these things that you should do for like the new moon. Like, so she wrote down an example of like things she wanted. Like one of them was like more followers on TikTok. Like it could be as shallow as that because no one's like reading it. Or like I want to be surrounded by the people I love on Christmas. There's small little things. So you write it all down, fold it in half, and then slide underneath your pillow.
Did you do it?
I did. And one of them was I want to be able to channel non-physical beings. And I wanted to bring that up because I know that I shocked you when I said that last time. I do. I like want my own YouTube channel and like someone's
Isn't it amazing that you could still shock me?
I guess. I want to be able to be like, oh, okay, I just got the beings of the light just came in and said, you need to quit that job. I see you with the farm and animals. Like I want to be that person. It'd be so cool to be able to like get messages.
I mean, yeah, like I want messages.
Yes. Well, we need to learn how to exercise that part of our brain and channel. If anybody has any tips, let me know where you started with all that.
I don't know. I have no tips on that.
So anyway, I think sometimes sitting down with a pen and paper, like speaking of like a little bit of advice that I don't even do for myself sometimes, is just to write down like, what is it that I want this year? Or even the next 6 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like a form of manifesting. I manifest. I talk manifest though. I talk to myself a lot. Do you talk to yourself?
Do I talk to myself?
I like speak things out loud, especially when I'm driving.
I want to record you doing that and like put it all together in a little reel. I think it's hilarious.
I even take videos of myself sometimes. This is so embarrassing.
Wait. Videos of yourself talking to yourself just to make sure that you like are looking good for
it's April 5th, 2022. Next April 5th, I want to be blah, 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 blah. I have a video of that exact thing with all my goals listed
That's so spiritual and way cool, Dana. You shock me. Like that's how you manifest shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I need to talk about it instead of write it because my writing's really like crappy. And so maybe I just need to like power walk with my dog and talk about it.
I think there's something about writing though. I think you're like channeling it. It's going through your brain a different way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I talk to myself all the time and I like definitely, I mean, I've always done it though. Since I was little, I used to like pretend I was on interviews. Like I used to like always, I always thought I was going to be like this famous, like whatever.
You are famous. Look, we're sitting in front of like microphones and stuff.
Self-famous. I'm making myself famous.
You're an influencer and you might even be an TV reality star.
I'm not an influencer. I'm like as micro gets, but
it's way more influencer than me.
I know it is crazy though, because sometimes I'm like, oh, it's nothing, but I'm like, wow, like combined, I have like 30,000 followers. Like imagine me being on a stage and 30,000 people listening to me.
Yeah, I would listen to
crazy.
Obviously, that talking to yourself like did something.
That's nuts. But like in the grand scheme of things, like I feel like you're not really an influencer until you're like at like 100,000.
Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there. But yeah, I definitely do manifest, and I definitely believe in manifesting. But I don't know. I'm like,
they say when you're good at channeling, it sometimes gets clogged in your throat.
Oh my God.
Maybe a channeling message is coming through.
It's coming out. It's coming out. I have so much to say.
I swear, I can't tell you how many people that I follow that like channel. They're like, sorry, my throat, like, I'm getting like, it's like
spirit
a chakra.
Burps.
It's
have
like
you ever heard of spirit burps?
No, but it's like a chakra clogging or something. It's coming through. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well, the chakra came through, and I'm ready to say my truth.
You have a strong
We are going to be
chakra.
so famous. We're going to have so many sugar daddies on our lawn. That'd be creepy. Yes. Anyway, I believe in manifesting, and I definitely think saying it out loud, for me, it's not even so much about like saying it into the universe or like some sort of like other beings. For me, it's just like a motivation. Like I said something out loud, and I'm going to keep my promise to myself. Like I'm going to do this for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you say it and you speak it, you're more likely to do it than if you just think it, because you could just pretend like you never thought about it. But like if I say it out loud, or if I record it, or if I tell someone, that's why I like to tell people my goals too, because I almost feel like it holds me accountable to myself.
I get real scared of like anything I'm committing to. Like if I say
I do too, because I'm scared of failing.
Yeah.
But I'm learning to be less scared of failing. Like that is something I'm working on hard. And I feel like
because failure makes you better.
Yes,
you learn
and
from
also
it. I'm trying to teach my kids that. Like
I'd rather fail than not try.
Please not do it right. Like you only learn from that way, you know? Like
yeah, I agree. And I think that like if you don't fail, then that means you never tried. And if you never try, you never have a shot at anything. So what's even the
and why
point?
do you want to be the same for like your entire life? Not to say that's wrong. Actually, if you're like a human being and you decide to do the same thing every day, there's a place for you too. But like, what's something that you didn't want to say out loud to try because you were scared of failing? Give me an example. Did something like that happen this year where you like didn't want to admit that you needed to do it or say it out loud?
Perfect example would be me. I mean, I could name a bunch. Me losing weight.
Yeah.
Like I was scared. You know how many times in the last 3 years I said I'm going to lose weight, and like I never stuck to it. And then I finally did, like this year. And now like, you know, and I really made it a priority. Actually, I made a video about it, and I was like, I'm not giving up this time. Like I'm doing it.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Starting my social media last year. Like I was so nervous. I want to know what I know. Look, I didn't even tell you at first. That's crazy.
I know.
Remember the first time you found out that I was really seriously doing it was when we were
this is hilarious. This is a good story. Yeah. And we're sitting there at a dance competition. I'm like fucking hungry, and I'm like shoveling food in my mouth, and this lady comes out. She's like, oh my gosh, are you that girl on TikTok that talked about da-da-da-da? And I like look over down. I'm like, what's she talking about? I was like, food's falling out of my mouth.
I was like, oh, by the way,
I'm a TikTok influencer. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like choking. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because I was so scared to tell anyone, because I was like, it was embarrassing to me, because I was like, that's a really embarrassing thing, by the way, to try to pretend you're an influencer when you're not an influencer at first. Like, you know, like you're like acting like it, like anyone cares what you're saying, because you have to act like that, like people care what you're saying. But like when you have 200 followers, it's like, who the, you know, but like everyone has to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere. I feel the same way. I mean, I can't even believe we're sitting here doing this podcast. I was even scared to.
I haven't even
put myself out there on my. I have like my art page, like for Instagram, where I you know, talk about my paintings and stuff. But I also use that platform to be more of like what other people don't usually see, a side of me, which I would say that's like a hint of like being a little bit more sexual and like free feminine, like woman kind of like power in my own like healthy and I don't know, brave about like my sexuality. And I use that platform a little bit, but I also have people that follow me, and I'm like, you know what, if you don't like it, like people that maybe, I don't know, I don't think anybody should not be following me. I think all that I put out there is nothing too racy or anything, but it does make me question like, oh gosh, people are following me, people that know me, and I'm really putting myself out there. It's kind of intimate, but then at the same time, I'm like, this is kind of what I was born to do. Like I feel it. It's kind of part of my purpose.
That it's more embarrassing. I'm going to use the word embarrassing. That might not even be the right word, but you feel more insecure about people who know you watching you than strangers.
Absolutely.
I could have strangers watching me all day long.
It's like acting,
the minute
but not
people
like
started coming to me and be like, oh, hi, I found your TikTok, like the kids' teachers or dance or whatever. Miss Olivia at dance the other day was like, I saw your TikTok. And I was like, for a second, like,
you're like,
okay.
Oh, but I don't feel like you do anything that's like embarrassing.
It's not even controversial or embarrassing, but it's the idea of, it is the embarrassment of being on my phone talking to a camera. Like, it's just like, you know,
you're putting yourself
out there in a way that a lot of people are embarrassed to, and it's cringy and, you know, like whatever.
That's true. But sometimes I look back at my video, I'm like, ew, who does she think she is? But then I'm like,
a bad bitch.
I was going to say she's fabulous. So, you know, and I want other people to be inspired at my age doing the things that I love to do and feeling free to share it to the world. Like, that's what honestly, it's all about. If I can inspire one person.
Right, exactly. You know how many messages I've gotten that were like so nice and being like, thank you so much. Like you helped me with this or this or that. And like, I don't know. It's just like, oh, okay, that's why I'm doing it. Like that's great. But it's not even about anyone else even. It's just about like me. Like I'm having fun doing it. You're just putting yourself out there. It's a side hustle and why not?
Yeah, like, why not? If you feel like you can do it, you also overcame some challenges of like, why not? I don't know, pushing past a little bit of discomfort or people seeing. I think what it is, this is a weird thing about like any feminine energy and maybe some of the masculine too. I don't want to speak for like masculine or feminine, but like being seen is something I think we all want, being seen and being validated. And then once we finally do it, it's scary as fuck. It's like we want to be seen, but then at the same time, when we put ourselves out there, it's also like nerve-wracking to be like, oh yeah, I'm putting myself out there to be seen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I feel like you're scared of people you know finding you because they're more likely to think you're cringy and they're more likely to
judge you for something.
Judge you for it, which is terrible. You think the people closest to you should be like the ones clapping.
Yeah.
And those are usually the ones that are going to talk shit.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm used to people talking shit about me my whole life. But
that's sad. And I've changed that too.
It is sort of sad.
I'm guilty of it before being like, oh my God, what does she do? You know, whatever. Yeah, like, but I'm not like that anymore. I really try to like clap for everyone. Like, I'm like, you know, good for her. She's doing something I wouldn't do, or she's doing something that like most people wouldn't. Like, that's awesome. You know, like, yeah. I feel like, I don't know. I've definitely changed a lot. And I would say like the last like 4 years specifically.
Yeah. You're kind of like, go on, girl.
Yeah.
I like say that about everyone and everything now because listen, we're all just different, like, aspects of everything, right? We're just all sharing a different light. We're all unique. We have all something to offer. So why not put it out there? And you know what? In the end, if it doesn't resonate with you, move on. Mm-hmm. And for some people, you're going to resonate for them and good.
Yeah.
Like you inspire me. I inspire you. Let's keep that shit going.
I definitely think that you have brought a lot of change onto me too.
Me too.
Like I would say like the last 2 years, like that has had an impact on me.
Like what?
So
like I'm getting bashful.
Well, I think you've taught me like that you don't have to just, I like I've said this to you before, like just work like one standard job. You know, I kind of went into, jobs for me have been like a big thing. You know, I was waitressing and then I went and I did never use my first degree, which I had a little bit of shame for a while. Oh. And then I got over it, whatever, went back to nursing school because I felt like I needed a degree that was useful. And I do love helping people and I love being a nurse. So it's not like that. But, you know, thinking back, like, would I have done something else? Probably. Right. It's a really like abusive job, I feel like, in a lot of ways.
I know the stories you tell me.
And I feel like, you know, I kind of always thought you had to like have that kind of job because that's what we're raised to. And then I saw like you and like Trevor,
career, you know,
taking a totally different route. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like you're making money off of your talents and your likes. And I think that's really neat. I mean, we all have to make money. So at the end of the day, we all have to do something that makes us money. So you kind of made me realize like maybe there's like more paths.
You can juggle,
which is why I told you like maybe not waitress. Find a new path.
I know.
Do something different. There are so many ways to make money now. I feel like we are definitely living in the hardest times in a long time, right? Inflation and stuff, but also we're living in a really cool time where there's opportunity to make so much money online in so many different ways. Whether you are like an influencer or content creator, or you start a business around content creation for businesses, like what I was trying to do with that, or you do an OnlyFans, or you sell something online, or you craft and you sell it on Etsy. Yeah. No one was able to do this 20, 30, 40 years ago. You had to work a standard job. You had to. Yeah. And like, there's just so much opportunity now. You just have to do it.
Oh my gosh. I feel like you should be a motivational speaker. I like just got like all these ideas that popped in my head.
There's so many ideas. I guess the fact that you don't put your paintings online is mind-blowing to me.
And I'll tell you why, because
I can't wait to hear.
I know all artists feel this way. It's like you have to see it in person to really get it, especially since I have like heavy texture on my painting. Mm-hmm. A face forward shot of it is just not going to do it. Even angles or videos. I know, but I feel like the color like in person and just being able to see it and see the dimensions, there's like a feeling that I want people to have. So I think I need to do like more of like an art show kind of thing.
Okay.
But plus my shit is huge and thick and heavy, and so shipping almost costs as much as the painting.
Someone will.
All right, fuck, I'll put it up.
Listen, here's my thing. I get it from an artist perspective, but like from a money making perspective, who fucking cares?
Okay.
Who cares? If you sell a painting, you sell a painting.
I know.
And then someone will appreciate it even more when it gets to their house and they're like, wow, look at all this texture I didn't even realize. That's cool.
True.
It's going to be better than they expected.
I know I need to broaden my perspective on that they needed to see it physically before they buy it. Like that's like a limiting belief.
It is a limiting belief.
We have so many limiting beliefs.
We do.
I have limiting beliefs about all the shit that you just said. I was like all inspired, but like what comes into my brain is like, that seems like a lot of work on my phone, and I'm trying to be on my phone. Because
your brain wants to take the easy way out.
Exactly.
Your brain automatically wants to come up with an excuse of why you can't do something, not how you can.
I know.
And that's something I'm trying to really train myself to think opposite of. Like I'm trying to think like, because I'm totally guilty of that. It's the same concept of this. Okay. And this is something I feel like resonates with more people. When you're on a diet, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to lose weight and you're eating great. And then the end of the night comes and you raid your snack pantry. And then you're like, fuck it. I screwed up.
Yeah.
I'm a failure. Whatever. It's the weekend. I'll just screw up all weekend and I'll start again Monday.
Yep.
Why? Why did you not just eat healthy the next day?
Yeah, you don't have to give up the whole weekend or even that night. Yeah.
Okay, you messed up for a second. Big deal. Move on. But it's your brain being like, nope, like we messed up. Let's just take the easy way out. And then that weekend becomes a week and the week becomes a month. And now all of a sudden you put all the weight that you lost back on.
Yeah. Well, and I'm certainly capable of getting to a routine of stuff. I'm very routine oriented.
You're very I'm actually inspired by that too. When you put your mind to something,
here's what I figured out over many years. It took me a long time. So I'm very like sensitive, overstimulated type person. I'm emotional and I can be emotionally unstable because I have like really highs and lows.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Having a morning routine.
Poor husbands.
I know. No, they love it. You know what? I can be your crazy bitch and I can be your angel too. Yeah. So, and anything else.
John this morning was like, you're being a real bitch. I'm like, oh.
I know. Me too. I can definitely be that way. I'm not an easy person to be with, but I figured out like what makes me happy. And that is having a decent diet, having exercise every single day. I exercise every single day, not a crazy exercise, not like these CrossFitters. I don't run miles. I don't even do crazy hour cardio workout. It's 20 minutes a day and I get to pick what that is so long as I get it done. Perhaps that's a 10-minute walk around the block for the first morning and another 10-minute walk in the afternoon. That could be like my Sunday.
Hottest 90-year-old bitch ever.
And then some days they are 20 minutes of like weights. The next day it's maybe 20 minutes of Pilates or whatever. But it's some kind of functional movement and mobility because to me that's just always what's going to keep me happy. I'm a dance instructor, a fitness instructor, and I like to be active. So if I'm not maintaining my body to stay active, I'm not going to be a happy camper. That's just something. So I prioritize my health and my fitness and myself. Right from the get-go before the day even starts.
All right, so give me some self-care tips. If you could give someone who's super busy mom, 3 self-care tips, what would you say?
I like to think that you just start when you first wake up. Start first when you wake up. I have a whole, like, I wash my face. I put my little, like, headband thing on so that my hair doesn't get wet. I wash my face at the same time I heat up my lemon water. So it starts in the morning. We're doing the things that I feel like are healthy, which is, like, you know, just being like loving to myself and my face and looking myself in the morning and taking my time to wash my face.
So like how long does that take you?
Oh, well, I'm definitely multitask. I got to get kids up, pets, fed and everything. So when I wake up, the first thing I do is I heat up my lemon water, let the dogs out, wake up the kids. And while everyone started coming down, I'll go back and wash my face, put my lotion on. Then I go back, drink my lemon water.
I like that. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Oh, no. Like, I'm trying to shove it all into, there's no fucking perfect morning. But I at least get my lemon water in.
Okay.
Hot water with lemon. And then I at least wash my face.
I don't know if I could drink hot water.
Okay, cold water.
Okay.
Whatever. Warm water. It's not
hot.
hot.
Room temp.
Okay. So that's like 1. And then 2, exercise. I think not just, this is not for vanity, even though some of it is, like, but because I've been trying to put on muscle for like ever and my small frame doesn't really do that. And I have to accept that too, unless I want to be like a bodybuilder and I don't feel like dedicating that much time to it. Anyway.
I can't picture that.
Bodybuilder Julie.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
I want to now.
I know.
It's a challenge. Working out.
Okay.
Because I do feel like that helps blood flow, adrenaline, getting your mind going. And I'm telling you, no one ever regrets the way you feel after you work out.
True.
I
do feel better.
think it's like 40% of your mental health.
Okay. Number 3.
Number 3 is making sure before you go to bed that you have a nice like bedtime routine. Whether that means 5 minutes of reading your favorite book, taking a bath, which is what I do, or maybe that's the time that, after your kids, if you have kids, you put them all to bed, everything, you shut down the house, you can do the face care routine that you like doing. I don't know, maybe that's sitting watching TV and your feet are like on those foot massagers or something. And it doesn't have to be this long thing. I think that's why I didn't do it for the longest time, especially with young kids. I'm like, I simply don't have time.
I know. I'm definitely an all or nothing person. So like, I feel like That is a good tip in and
or
of
like
itself,
a
that it doesn't
sleepy
have to be
tea.
perfect.
It doesn't have to always be wine. Like if you drink a lot, like cut that shit out.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
cut it in half.
Let
that
me
made
tell
a
you,
huge difference. And magnesium.
difference.
Good sleep is everything.
Yeah.
If you're not hydrating and you're drinking every night and you don't get good sleep, I'm sorry, you're fucking yourself over because you're not going to be a nice person.
I was drinking way too much last year.
Oh, yeah. Well, the years before, I was definitely like a wine
I definitely
person.
had like years, right? But like, I noticed like I would say from COVID up until last year, I was drinking like so not not every night, but like way more than I'm comfortable with, like too many times a week, like normal me, like now, like I don't even drink weekly, let alone like I don't do the whole
I've
glass
definitely
of
gotten
wine.
So much better.
John used to like drink a glass of wine and like cook, or we'd have a beer and have dinner. Like it was never like, it would never be more than usually like 2 drinks, but like when you do 2 drinks a night, that's not,
It's a lot of calories and sugar or whatever.
And it makes you feel shitty.
It makes you feel shitty.
You're less likely to work out. You're less likely to sleep well.
You eat shittier too.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
you don't care as much.
Big thing of nachos or whatever. And like, hello, let's like break it down. Liquor's a poison to your liver.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I actually have.
I don't even know how like our society has accepted like being like big partiers and stuff.
It's like I'd rather do like no weed.
I was gonna say I'd rather take. In fact, I know many friends that have cut back on their wine and drinking by having like a quarter of a gummy.
I think that will be the new thing. I think that
absolutely
the newer generations aren't going to drink as much, and they're going to.
They're like, I don't want to look like an idiot and kill people and get shitty sleep.
I love having a night of drinking.
Me too.
I think it's super fun. Yeah, like it's like
I love having
such
a girls'
loose,
night
fun
and
feeling.
Just whatever.
But that's what I was gonna say. I have standards now.
Yeah.
Like I literally have almost like rules in my head.
Yes, me too. I have like,
and I'm like
trade-offs too. Like,
I'm not drinking to have one drink. So if it's just like a unwind one drink type thing, I don't really want it.
Nope. Magnesium or a gummy.
Boom, done. I'm not drinking by myself anymore. No desire.
Yeah. Or like you could sit there with like your little sleepy time tea. Like you don't need a glass of wine.
I'm drinking socially when we are going out for a purpose.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm going to have a good time. And I'm not going to worry about what I'm drinking and how much I'm drinking. And I'm going to love it. And then I'm probably not going to drink again for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think I drink once a week or twice a week.
Yeah.
If that. And that's like huge. I used to drink like back when the kids were younger, like definitely like had a glass of wine every night.
It was like it was almost like a habit, like an unwinding habit.
I had to like, I just needed to like, you know? And I get that. And if you're drinking your glass of wine every night, there's no shame. Like we all are doing the best we can. Right. I'm just saying what I've learned over the years. If it's not
working for you though, it's worth
If you're waking up cranky
Yes.
and not getting good sleep and you can't lose the weight you want, or you're not motivated to work out, or you're having some mental health stuff, it's like, well, let's look at what we're doing, you know? Like let's survey from morning till night what we're putting in our bodies and what are we doing for ourselves. Mm-hmm. We all are doing stuff for other people, whether it's our work, our spouse, our kids, or our friends, or whatever you've got going on. But if you keep putting out and you don't put back in, then what the fuck? Like,
but I do think that you automatically will gain healthier habits.
Yes.
When you don't drink.
Yeah.
For example, like,
and nothing good comes of getting drunk and belligerent. Like nothing good comes of alcohol. Like no great conversations.
Well, sometimes.
What? Okay. Well, okay, well, if you're not in a good mood, though, don't you feel like that's always the time where people fight because they were drunk, you know?
Yeah, I'm not an angry drunk, really. I mean, I'm not saying I never have been. Me and John have definitely gotten into fights at the end of the night when I'm like,
I've definitely
done.
Been like sassy.
But like, for the most part, like, I'm a pretty happy, fun drunk.
Yeah, me too.
But I do think that you replace it because, like, for me, I'm not talking about the drunk. I'm talking about, like, the 1 or 2 glasses of wine to unwind habit. Like, for me, then I was like, well, I need something to unwind. Like, these kids are driving me crazy or something. Then I started being like, I'm going to go on a walk and listen to music. Or I'm going to go on a drive and listen to music or something. And that was my
Oh, my gosh. That just gave me goosebumps. That's a good – because I have, like, my set thing. And never thought to like go for a night walk with like music. I bet that
I
makes
night
my
walk
heart
a lot.
sing a little bit.
Yeah, I love to listen to music, and that's my manifesting time too, and just like my thinking time, and like all of that. So like,
oh my gosh, well, for a single mom, maybe you should like walk around the house or dance around the house or something after the kids because you can't leave them alone.
Headphones and dance in the kitchen.
Yeah,
or if they're young. I used to throw my kids in a stroller.
Yeah, and let them sit
I would
there.
give them snacks, and even if they were like whining, I'd just throw on my headphones and go.
Yeah,
you know. Go. Or I would take them to the beach a lot.
Yeah.
Because we live near the beach. Yeah. And I would drive to the beach. And I feel like the blue theory is so real. And like water makes me so happy.
Yeah. I was going to say, does anybody like not feel better when they're at the beach?
Yeah.
There's something just so cosmic about it. The way the waves come in. And think about that too as like an analogy, like that flow coming in and out. There's nothing that's like in the way of like the ocean.
Yeah,
like,
no, I used to do that all the time. Like that was actually part of my routine in postpartum days would be to drive to the beach and I'd walk the boardwalk to get a little exercise in and listen to my music. And then I would take her out and we'd sit on the beach and I would just like be there. And I used to feel instant better.
Most people are not by the beach. We're really lucky.
I know. We are
but
lucky.
if you don't have that, I'm a big fan of the shower or the bathtub, and you can make your
water
own like,
in
DIY,
general,
like essential oil shit. Like make your little bath steamer, make your little bath salts. You know what I mean? Like get it nice, get the music, get the candles going. It might seem a lot of effort. Yeah, I know. You stick in the during COVID, we were in the bathtub like twice a day, every day. That was like our like
Jack's throwing a temper tantrum. I'm like shower or bath.
Yep.
Like water.
Always they love
water.
it. Who doesn't want to be in water?
I know.
Seriously, that should be like in every like if you're trying to do better mental health and like just physical health, like get in the bath, get in the shower, have 5-10 minutes for yourself.
Definitely.
It's beautiful.
Speaking of temper tantrums.
Ooh. Are you having one?
No,
lately?
But my kids have them all the time. Do yours?
They're moody.
Yeah. Like real moody.
But I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I'm like, they're being an asshole and I'm like, why are we doing this? But then other times I'm like, scream that shit out, get it out. Because you know what? When we have bad days, we're just being called a bitch and like we move through it and we like stand up, like we get all like sassy and we're like, well, you're being like this and you're da-da-da. But we don't really allow our children to have like be nasty sometimes.
Yeah.
Like safely in our homes. Like, you know what I mean?
I think a lot of us were raised that way. Like, I mean, like, I wasn't necessarily, but like, I definitely think it was a lot of be seen, not heard. Don't throw temper tantrums.
Yeah.
Don't.
Because it's like a reflection of your parenting or something.
Right.
Your kids can't like
and you know
get
what?
it together.
I'm guilty of that. Like, I don't believe in that. I never judge other parents when their kids are screaming in a store or upset or something. But I am guilty of being embarrassed when my kids are screaming in a store or upset. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, everyone probably thinks I'm like the shittiest parent in the world. But I'm like, why do I care? But like,
Freya's so loud. And I'm like, Freya, I'm like, don't speak so loud. And I'm guilty of not always letting them be their free spirited, like whatever self. You know, I'm always worried that someone's judging them or me or something.
What are some unconventional ways that you parent? Like, what are some things that you do differently than
we definitely talk about sex. I let them curse I don't let them curse. I curse in front of them. And like, if it's in a song or something, I don't care. Like we'll play to me, like, how is like cursing like bad? Like when someone's like, oh, don't say that. It's a bad word. It's like, great. You just gave them the gift of wanting to use that to be bad now. Cause don't we all want to be bad sometimes? So like, they're going to use that word now to be bad. I just think you put too much emphasis on it.
I know. Like, you know, I curse in front of the kids too. And I do think there's a difference.
I don't curse at them.
Yes. I always tell my kids words can affect people and you can't take words back always.
Obviously,
like,
we have all these conversations.
So like, yes, I'm never like cursing at them, but like I do curse in front of them and I want them to know the difference of cursing versus like cursing at someone.
Yes, absolutely.
But this is pretty funny because Jack has like a real broad vocabulary and he like the other day was watching that Christmas Story with my parents and there's a part where like they say fudge in the movie.
Yeah.
But like obviously it was implying that the kid said fuck.
Yeah.
And then the mom puts like the soap in the kid's mouth. Well, Jack was like, oh,
my mom did that to me when I was little, by the way.
Oh my God, I've never had soap in my mouth. But the kid was like, Jack was like to my parents, oh, he meant to say fuck. And my parents were like, what? And he was like, he meant to say fuck.
Yeah, instead of
not fudge. Yeah. And they were like, oh my God. So they were telling me that my mom was like almost funny. Peeing herself laughing.
It's funny.
But then I guess the other day, Jack was over there again and was talking about, my dad said something. He was like, Poppy, did you just say shit? So my dad's like, how does this 3-year-old know every curse word under the sun? And I was like, great. Like my dad probably thinks I'm like the worst parent ever.
No.
I'm like, listen, I don't know. Like he's around adults a lot. Like he hears things and he's super smart.
Yeah, they're gonna
like I'm impressed that he knew that they were saying fudge, they were putting soap in the mouth, and that he knew that it was fuck. Honestly, that's pretty impressive.
It's impressive. Like, and also him, like you saying, like he's around adults all the time. Like, let's be honest, we're all cussing at some point, and some of us try not to, and as much as others, and that's nice too. I get like the manners and being polite and having like an eloquent way of like.
Listen,
speaking.
I don't want him walking around being like, "Fuck this shit."
Oh no, me either.
Like I'd be horrified.
No, and I always tell my kids, I'm like, you say that in front of like my parents who are very old fashioned, or like a teacher or whatever, even someone else's like kids, and their kids go tell their parents. I'm like, you may not be able to go to their house because they're gonna be like, don't hang out with that kid because they say bad words and blah blah. So I'm like, I wouldn't just be like saying that.
No,
in front of me in our home, safe place. express yourself, but I just wouldn't
I
be
know
like
it's tough because you want to be like words are words, it's fine, whatever. But
if
like,
they hear adults
they
say
also
it,
need
then
to
it's very
learn.
like hypocritical to be like,
Right.
you can't. But I do say that like when you become adult, like you can play, you know, like let's be honest, like by teens in middle school, they're like they might just need to say fuck like that, like really like loud or whatever in the house because something pissed them off. Like, okay, did that really do any damage? I didn't like screw up anything. You're not a bad parent. They're not a bad person.
Right.
None of this bad shit. I don't get it.
All right. So back to controversial ways
a couple
that
more
you
things.
parent. You let them curse.
Yeah. Well,
or you let them hear curse. You're not like overly.
No. They're not like freaking like saying curse words all the time.
But you're not like hiding language.
Correct. So I'm not hiding language. We talk about our privates. We've definitely talked about sex. We definitely talk about like, you know, people.
And for reference, you have a 7-year-old.
Oh, Freya's 7 and Styles is 9.
Okay.
And then my stepdaughter's 19. So.
Okay. So keep going.
Anyway, we talk about obviously different forms of marriage, like, you know, if you wanted to be married to a man, it's, you know, 2 men or 2 women, or we've now brought up the form of like, you might want to be with you might just not want to be with one person. Yeah. Just so you know, you might want to have 2 girlfriends, 2 boyfriends, or one of the other. Which is
funny because in this day and age, you wouldn't think that was like a controversial way to parent, but actually someone we know was just talking about being very anti like transgender and gay rights and stuff. And I was
like, my kids are cool with all that.
Wow, what if your kids turn out to be gay? Like very anti it. Yeah. So it's like, I guess it is controversial. Like
you have to educate them at least so that there's not that like shock. At the very least, no matter what your beliefs are, you need to let them know like what the world is and what the possibilities are. Give them a platform to choose like what feels right and what feels normal for them. Just hiding it and not talking about it and sheltering them from it is going to do no good. And they're going to need like shit tons of therapy later. But yeah. So yeah, we talk about that, and I feel like there was like another thing. What about you? It might come back to me.
So I definitely same thing. We talk about I haven't had like a sex talk with them yet. So I have a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old.
I didn't get like graphic. I kind of just did basics.
I haven't really talked about sex yet. I mean, they definitely know that a man and a woman traditionally.
Yeah. That's another thing I feel like we keep hush hush too.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Yeah. Like we're afraid to let them know. We teach them everything else about the autonomy of our body and the anatomy of our body, I meant to say, and how things work and why. Like why not describe to them what procreation is?
I don't know.
On some form. And I've also told them too about people that are not like same-sex marriages, how like, you know, you can have artificial, you can have that, you know.
So we talk about that. Like we talk about like all the different ways to have a baby like that. But like I've never gotten into like a deep sex conversation yet. I mean, obviously it will be coming with Lily soon. But we talk about all of that. We definitely talk about periods and like sexual parts are named by their parts and not like cookie. Okay, hate that shit.
Well, the only part that I will say,
penis
we say Gina because Freya couldn't say vagina when she was younger, and now it's this running joke. It's Gina. So now I say it too. I'll be like, "Do you mean like your Gina is like irritated?" Right?
John was very uneasy with that at first. Like when I first started saying like vagina to them, I feel like he was like taken back. I mean, not anymore, but like at first he was like, "Oh, okay, we're just like saying it," you know?
Wait. I think sex talk and all that kind of like being ashamed of shit is what leads them to being so interested in it later. And even like, you know, when you're like, oh my God, my kids just watched porn. It's like, why do you think they're looking at porn? Like they want to know what's going on, like with their body and what feels good and stuff. Like, why don't you sit there and like, I know it's like, they probably don't want to hear it from you, or like getting a book would be a great way to start and just be like, hey, did you read that book? Like, can we talk about like a couple things or whatever? Like, even if you don't feel like it, but I feel like our first sex education, like rundown is what, in high school? That's too late.
No,
sometimes.
Well, I think they do like a really mild sex education in like 5th and 6th grade.
Okay, well, whatever. I think that,
but it's like mild. Like I'm talking like periods, maybe a little bit of like.
No, we're talking about like you're saying like.
Yeah.
We all know it's okay to touch our own body.
Yeah.
So like, why aren't we talking about this more to our kids? I feel like that is definitely something we're missing the mark on.
Yeah.
Because it's all shameful shit.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
It is. On a less controversial scale, I guess, but still something that not everyone does. I, beyond like that kind of stuff, I don't force them to eat what I make for dinner.
That's a good one. I'm trying to get better about that because sometimes I get real pissed off.
It's just food is food to me, and it's not a big deal, and I don't want it to be a big deal.
It's totally
I'm not
true.
saying I'm going to make another gourmet meal for them. I'm not like I'm going to cook steak for us, and then I'm going to make them like a lobster. Like that's not happening. But like I always try to provide side dishes that they like if it's something new that they're trying. So like I'll always like mac and cheese is like an easy go-to for me. Like try all this new stuff, but there is a side of mac and cheese for them, so they're not hungry. I'll never be the person that's like go to bed hungry if you didn't eat what's on your plate. Like
it's a little
I don't
extreme.
care. I don't care. I also let them have a snack right before dinner if they want it. I just feel like I don't know.
Start on snacks.
I'm not going to control. I know.
I hate them.
I'm not going to control all that. So like I definitely don't make them eat what's on their plate, and I hate when we go to someone else's house and they're like, you can't have dessert unless you finish what's on your plate. I'm like, oh, the eye rolls.
I will say that I have said that before in the past. I'm
me too. We're all guilty of it for sure.
I'm trying to reword it in a way that's like, hey, Freya, I know you love your dessert, but can we eat like a couple more vegetables, make sure that we're putting like some good things in? Not like as a reward balance. To have the cookie, but I always say like, I know you want like dessert, but can we like try to get some like good, healthy, nutritious food in your body first? That's Lando.
Dessert to me is a weird concept too. My kids do have it, but I'm like,
we try not to. We definitely don't do it every night because I don't want them to get used to like
in the summer. A lot of times, my kids are like, "Oh, can we have dessert now?" And it'll be like, afternoon. I'm like, yes, actually, this is probably the best time for you to have the dessert.
Yeah, seriously, you don't need like that sweet treat right before bed. Think about your like, I don't know. Yeah, so I
that's
definitely
one thing I definitely don't make.
Good.
My bed's open.
Oh yeah,
I know that's like something a lot of parents don't allow.
I think a lot of parents do that. I think Trevor and I are a little older.
Oh, see, I think a lot of parents don't do that. Like I mean, I guess it's probably a mix, but like the bedroom's open. I mean,
I'm a little too selfish on my sleep, and I'll just admit it. Like we get them snuggled, I lay with them, we read stories, we have a monitor. If either of them need something, they call to us, and we will come up to them, and it's usually Trevor. Not usually, it's 100%.
So we do that a lot now too. As the girls are getting older, we'll go to one of us will go to their room over them coming in our room, but definitely like I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to sleep. So wherever it happens, it happens.
See, I
can't
sleep
mode.
with people around me. I really can't. I never got used to it.
Right.
I never got used to it.
We co-slept a lot of them for a long time.
So it doesn't bother you. If like Trevor even moves, I'm like, don't move.
Yeah.
You just woke me up.
Yeah.
Like it wakes me up when someone just like moves.
No, I really get it. Sometimes I actually have anxiety when they're so far away from me though. That like I sleep better if they're near me.
That's
like,
cute. Well,
if like John's away at work, I need them all in my room. Like,
you need that warm body.
I need to, not even the warm body. I need to know that they're all in there. I just get these like intrusive thoughts of like, oh my God, what if someone broke into the house and I can't get to them, or the house goes on fire and I can't get to them? Like, because I'm alone and I have 3 of them and I'm so outnumbered that I feel like I'm like, I set up like a air mattress type thing, like a nugget or whatever on the floor, and the girls will sleep on that, and then Jack will sleep in my bed, and I sleep so much better like that if he's gone. If he's home, it's different.
I do like those. Like I remember like for hurricane like season, like we have big trees near our window and stuff. So I'm like, Trevor, they're gonna sleep next to our bed. It's the only way I feel like I can relax.
Yeah.
I do agree with that, but they don't sleep with me. Although this year I'm trying to be better about that. And I've already told them, I'm like, hey, which is happening this week. I'm like, I think like once a week, because we just got this new king bed. I'm like, I think we'll let you guys like crash with us, And they're like, what?
Yeah.
This means that in the middle of the night, we're gonna pick them up and put them back in their bed though.
Yeah, and we do that too a lot.
Because I can't sleep with them all night.
Necessarily, if one of them comes into the room, it's very rare that they'll end in the room. Like one of us will usually move them at some point, depending which kid. Some kids are harder to sleep with than the other ones.
I don't think anybody has a problem with that. I think all parents get up in the middle of the night to fucking deal
John
with their
used
kids.
to cry on his stairs because he couldn't go into his parents' room.
I slept in my parents' bed like every night. They let me in between them.
I think that was a very old. I think I'm not blaming his parents. I think that was just like a very old school mentality for sure.
Yeah,
that like you sleep on your own. You go to sleep on your own. Same with the cry it out method. I never did it. I never made my kids cry it out.
Like I let my kids cry for a little bit, and then if they weren't like getting settled, I'd come to them.
Right.
But I did let them cry for a little bit. I didn't come running at the first discomfort.
Yeah, I did.
That's good.
They actually did a study, and they like crying it out could be very detrimental.
I think so for sure too.
As like
I don't know all the studies, but like think about like back in the day, like if you didn't come to your kid crying, like a wolf would come eat you. That's like an alarm system. They hear you. You know what I mean? Like you don't just let your kid cry it out. Like
well, they learn it's an abandonment thing because they're learning like no one came for me when I was crying. Like babies,
oh my God,
need people. So like,
even as adult, I think everyone 40 and up or even 30 and up would say, oh no, I'd prefer to sleep alone. But everybody wants someone
you feel
next to
safe
them
when you're near someone.
sleeping.
Yeah.
And if like Trevor's not there and he's working, I like barricade myself with pillows. Like I need to feel.
Yeah.
Of course,
and kids are going to want that too.
To be with your
That's
parents.
how I always felt. So I never did cried out with Lily. And then when I had Violet, I felt like I had to. Like, oh, well, Lily slept with us for so long. Like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. And I tried to let her cry it out. And I lasted like 2 days. And I was just like, this feels so wrong to me. And I don't judge anyone that did it. I think it's cool. I get the concept. You made a great sleeper. But like for me, it felt so wrong. I will say my kids are
amazing sleepers.
And then the more studies I read on it and stuff, I was like, oh my God, like now I feel like I know too much and I can't so like with Jack, I never let him cry it out either.
Yeah. Well, everyone's just doing, I guess, the best that they think that they know what works
yes,
for them.
Absolutely. I wouldn't judge anyone for it, but I definitely like still think what I'm trying to get at is I do think that there is some controversy with it. I think there's a reason people don't admit that they co-sleep because people are embarrassed by it because it makes you feel like you're not a good parent because your kid's not independent. I think that older people means you're more especially
loving, actually.
Thank you.
And that your kids are going to feel like they're loved by their parents.
And I hope so. But I definitely think that there is I think, especially with older generations, more so. I think we're starting to get away from it. But the more independent your child is, the better of a parent you are in their eyes. And I totally think that's true. Think about it. How many people, when your baby is 8 weeks old, they're like, oh, is she sleeping through the night? As if that's like a normal good thing.
Yeah, I never.
And then you're like embarrassed.
I always just say like, "Are you hanging in there?" That's all I ever say.
Absolutely. But it definitely is a thing. Or like, "Oh, is she walking yet? Oh, is she potty trained yet?" It's all about how independent is your child.
My kids did not get like potty trained till like they're much older. And I remember a lot of parents were like, "Don't force it.
Yeah,
don't force it. They're not going to go to college still pooping their pants."
I did the 3-day method with them and golden.
I don't even know what that is.
It's kind of what you're saying. Like just. They
were much older. They're like 3. I think Sal's was 3.5.
That's not old for a boy though. I hear boys are much harder to potty train than girls. I was very lucky with mine. They did all potty train young. But like I never forced it either. At like 2, they were all showing signs.
And then it didn't work, and then I just gave up.
Right, it won't work. I think. Like
I know.
And they were all showing signs. And once they start showing signs, I put them in underwear. I don't use pull-ups. I feel like that doesn't work well.
Yeah.
And 3 days they had, and if they were still having, and I never shamed them or whatever, they have an accident and be like, oh, that feels yucky, right? Let's clean you up. And if 3 days went by and they were still having accidents, I stopped and I started again in a few months.
Okay, that's the 3-day method. I
3-day method. And if in 3 days they weren't having accidents, then we went straight to underwear.
I think that there's so many methods and advice like that. And also like the cry it out method, like why are we following just like one concept? Like why don't you?
I think there's a lot of them.
Okay. Like I feel like you just need to do your research and then go back to like what your heart and your gut says.
I think we got away from knowledge overload with the internet.
Yes, and just going with what your intuition says.
Intuition.
Me too, big time. And I feel like everyone gives me shit that like, I always say like, well, I don't really know what I want right now. Or like, I always say I don't really use like my head too much. I always like follow like my feelings. And I still teach my kids this. I'm like, your gut will tell you, your heart. And people are like, is your gut and heart going to tell you when you're blah, blah? And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I think you need to use a little fucking intuition.
Yeah.
Like, you're so uptight.
Definitely believe in
intuition. You're so rigid and like, you don't even know what you want anymore.
Even
you're just
with
some like programmed
people,
person.
I like tell the girls all the time, if I start, like if we're at a store, and I start like pulling you in or telling you to follow me. Like you don't ask me a question. I'm having an intuition about someone nearby. And I don't care if I'm wrong or I'm right. Good. We're going with my intuition. We're going with my gut right now.
Yeah.
And that's that. And we'll talk about it in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely
because we got into like that where they're like, well, why? Where are we going? I'm like, shut up. Just keep going.
Just get in the car.
Yeah.
So everyone has that yucky.
Yeah, I just feel like if you have a gut feeling, go with it. I mean, the worst case scenario is you were overcautious and you were wrong. Big deal.
Right.
You know?
I also think as a human, that's like something that like somehow over the years we like unlearned. And it's like one of our biggest powers is to go by like our emotions and our gut feelings and our intuition.
Yeah.
It just gets like squashed down with like the rat race of life we live. And like we want to be like everyone else and follow the herd and stuff.
Yeah.
What else do you think is something that we do that we follow the herd? Not that that's not wrong, because I know that goes way back into like...
Yeah, that's hard. I follow the herd way more than I'd like to admit, but
Something that you don't want to. The ones that we've talked about, like not traditional school and RVs and shit like that.
Yeah, I think I follow... Yeah, I think there's a lot of things I would do differently if I wasn't doing the norm. Like, I don't think I need to live in a house, like a traditional house. I question if I could. I see pros and cons with school, traditional schools. So, like, I question that a lot. Like, should I be homeschooling? Should I not be homeschooling?
I know.
And I don't know the right answer for it.
Why can't we have a combination of both?
I would love a combo. Like,
I
that
just
is the
need
best
them to
thing
go
ever.
3 days a week, and then I want them the other 2.
Like a preschool program.
Like the preschool
That'd be
program.
great. 3 days a week. And then
But I think some people would say, well, some of us have to work, you know, but
I
this is
know,
where
and
you
I
get
do
your
get
community.
it.
And I do too. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
because even I'm like, well, fuck, then when would I use? But I also think we can use our friends and our community and like whatever.
I just saw this girl today online and she was saying buy land because like land is being built up like crazy now. Government's buying land. Like there's not a ton of land left. I mean, there is, but like there's not, you know, like it is definitely starting to get. So she was like, you need to buy like farmland because you get so many tax benefits and like it's easy to buy. It's easy to like put down. So whatever. So I sent it to John and I was like, and it was talking about going in with like friends.
John probably gets a text from you once a week
all the
about
time.
some crazy shit.
All the time. Daily, I would say. But I was like, shit, we need to go buy like farmland. And
I'm ready for it, Dana. I've always wanted to farm. It's like actually one of my dreams.
Okay, so she gives the step to step and you can get like farm credits. Our friend owns a 200-acre farm in Pennsylvania and like people like pay them to use part of their land for farming or for sod or mineral, whatever. Like there's all these different things and like you get credits from like farmers. So it's not as expensive as people think.
Right.
Especially if you're going somewhere that's kind of like out there. So anyway, she was saying, she's like, I bought an acre for, and not that that's a lot, but she's like, I bought an acre for $10,000. She's like, I only had to put 20% down or 30% down or whatever. So it was like $2,000 and she has like a plot of land that's all hers. And she's like, and I'm slowly going to start taking charge of it. Like you slowly will put like electric on it and like water on it. And then one day maybe you'll build something on it. But she's like, right now I'm having yoga instructors rent it to teach classes on.
Oh my God.
I'm having like RVs. Like if someone wants to stay for the night, they'll park their RV on it.
Dana, this is it.
I know. And I was like, that's cool. And it's also a good backup plan if the world goes to shit and we need to get out.
Yeah,
doomsday prep. Doomsday prep.
I can't even talk about doomsday prep.
I know.
That's like
doomsday scares me. There's this new movie on Netflix that everyone's watching, and I can't even watch it because I know my anxiety will go through the roof.
Me too.
It's called like Leaving the World Behind, and it's all about this.
Ugh. Why are we so scared of the end, though?
So I'm not scared of the end. I'm scared of what happens during the end.
Me too.
I'm not
Especially
scared
for
of
Lily's,
us like a meteor coming and blowing us all up. Like cool, whatever. I'm not scared of like
we're all
any of that.
obliterated.
I don't want to live through like a freaking apocalypse. Like
Me
I'm
either.
good. Take me out. Zombies eat me.
Me too. Well, I think I would just take a sleeping pill or something.
I know.
Or like just.
I don't want to live through that. I don't want to be like surviving, like survival of the fittest. I'm not fit. I'm not surviving.
I don't want to survive.
I'm going
that.
down.
I'll come back in another lifetime.
Yeah,
like
screw
I'm
it.
good.
Let me go.
Yeah, me too. I don't.
That's what I'm scared of.
And I
but
don't
you're
want
right.
my
Like
kids to go
even
through that
like
either.
right. Then like yes, I have, and it's on the type 1 groups a lot. So my daughter's type 1 diabetic, and like she needs insulin to literally
like a year's
live.
supply, right?
Yeah, I do.
This always
But,
freaks
like,
me out for you. That like if we had like another COVID or something where things like
not even like
shut
an
down.
apocalypse, like just like a shutdown or like a shortage or anything.
A shortage is what freaks
it is
me
the
out for you.
freakiest thing, and a lot of people talk about it on the type 1 groups. And
Yeah.
actually, that's where I saw about the movie on Netflix because people were saying like, "What are you doing in place? Like, what are you doing in case?" And I feel like there's only so much we could prep, right? Like, I mean, there's only so much you can prep.
A year's supply is pretty good.
People are like, get a crowbar so you can start robbing like pharmacies. Like, I don't know what you do. I'm not saying I would do that necessarily.
You would if you needed to,
but,
though.
You know, yeah. Yeah, so it's scary. So
I'd
yeah,
rob
I have
them
about a
for
year's
you.
supply. And like, you could also like eat a diet that you don't need as much insulin.
Oh,
So like, if
I
like
guess
she
the worst case scenario.
needs insulin when she eats carbs mostly.
Right. So she
So
just
like,
be
if you went like no carb, you still would need insulin, but you could probably make it last way longer.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, I don't know what kind of foods would be available in an apocalypse. Anyway, just take me out. Or we can go live on our farm. Maybe we'd be happy there. Maybe
I
the
want
whole
this
world could be
farm.
exploding and we could be like living our best lives.
This plot of land idea seems amazing. It's true. There is only so much land.
There's only so much land. I think we should do it.
We're going to be building up, don't you think, eventually, huh?
Yeah, that's what Elon Musk says. He says that that's what we need to be doing is building level-wise, not just out. Like we should be building like underground tunnels. We should be building like above.
I need the fresh air, though.
Not to live in, for like transportation purposes and stuff.
That
Like
makes
you
so
wouldn't
much
have as
sense.
much traffic if you had multi-levels.
Oh my gosh.
And
it
it's
should
true.
be underground. Then we can have like more like animals back. Like where the roads and stuff.
Yes.
Like, have you seen all the roadkill?
It's true. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I would love if there was like
more tunnels.
An elephant walking by on my way to school or something.
Can you imagine living in Africa and like just driving and seeing an elephant or like a freaking giraffe? Like, what are giraffes? Like, why are their necks so long?
To get to that plant that they eat. Do you know that their tongues are purple too?
Yes.
And they can handle like this thorny like plant or whatever.
It's amazing.
It is weird.
I
It
would love to
comes
see
around
that.
in circles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
That would be cool.
Genetics and stuff.
So, yeah, I think that should be a thing. But I don't know. I think we should definitely buy the land and we can have a little
We're buying land.
We're gonna buy
Our
land.
husbands just walked in. We're buying land because there's only so much land. And then if there's apocalypse, we can just
We're gonna go to the land.
We can flee.
Yeah. So I'll send you the link.
You ready?
We have to buy it through the
Forget
farmer's
the Christmas
credit.
presents this year. It's land.
Yes.
And a giraffe. We'll throw in a giraffe.
We're considering a giraffe because they're pretty cool.
They're pretty cool.
Wait, do you think we can make giraffes live up here? What if we started a whole new species?
Here?
We need to buy land
in like
somewhere
Oklahoma?
else.
No. Who
I
lives in
pitched
like
the Appalachian
North
Mountains.
Dakota or South Dakota? Like who lives
but
there?
that's cold. We have to think about this. We can't just buy land
Missouri.
wherever the fuck.
We were just watching. I know I'm late to the game on Ozark, but I watched my first episode last night, and it's like the Ozark Lakes or something.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's like $1 billion to live there, but like Missouri, who lives in Missouri?
No, we need cheap.
I know.
I pitched the Appalachian Mountains because it's cheap as hell.
Who wants to live in the mountains? I need flat land.
West Virginia, you know?
Okay, maybe.
It's pretty.
Can I just wear overalls and
yes,
nothing
we could
else?
We could be naked if we want. This could be a nudist colony. There are no rules.
We'll have to decorate with pineapples.
Yeah, you could wear pineapple pasties. You could walk around with your vagina out and your non-oversized t-shirt.
I will definitely let my vagina hang out.
Yeah, in the mountains. And no one will see us because it'll be all our land. But John said that we can't go there because he said that we will be like screwed if anything bad happens because there'll be no one around us. We'll be like totally isolated.
Well, at least the zombies like won't get to us.
I know. I don't know if zombies will happen though.
I don't either. We just like kill them. Like if somebody has like some weird shit, like you probably will just get shot or something.
Oh, I guess we do need some protection. I've never shot a gun in my life.
I have.
Yeah. Well, okay, then I guess you're on
that was like way
protection
back
duty.
in the day. Like I went to like a shooting range like maybe like 3 or 4 times. I don't really like it, but I don't think it's like the worst thing ever.
We could barter. Like
here's
a
bartering.
I don't know.
This is why I need to learn how to channel so I can see into the future and I can barter my futuristic skills.
John showed me an interesting video on the way here about the 80-year theory where like every 80 years history repeats itself. And it's broken up into like...
Why 80?
That just seems to be what happens. Like,
who's this person that came up with this?
I don't know. If you look back every 80 years, like 80 years ago was World War I or II, and then 80 years before that was like the Civil War, and then 80 years before that was the Revolutionary War.
Are we at 80 years now?
So yeah, we're almost at 80 years, and this would be the crisis period, which it is, and everyone predicted it, and it really did happen. But after the crisis comes like the best period ever.
I was gonna say sometimes we have to be ready for like huge tragedy in order to be like rebirth.
Yeah,
we talked about that before too.
So what I'm saying is we're in the crisis period. We buy our land. We're out of the crisis period. Bam, everything's amazing, and we are freaking killing it in the mountains.
I'm ready. I'm ready to let my vagina be free.
I am too. Yeah, I am too. That's a good plan. I think we should do it. So we have to look up the farmer's credit.
I definitely think if you're investing in land, that's something good to invest in.
Right, exactly. It is a good investment. It's a good investment.
Yeah.
It's a good doomsday prep plan. It's good. It's good for being free and nude. It's good for all things. It really solves a lot of our problems.
I want to go there and like just channel and meditate and have people like come in and do like yoga workshops and stuff.
Yeah, but we're going to be in the middle of nowhere, so I don't think anyone's going to be coming in and doing yoga workshops unless we start like a cult, and now we're getting weird.
Well, I don't think it's weird.
I know you would start a cult.
I would. What would it be about though?
I don't know. Your guess.
Everything
is
is right.
Mine.
Everything's okay.
I don't know.
I
could be the motivational speaker.
Yeah. We'll have to come up with something.
All right. Well, I think that's a good plan. We'll start our cult. We'll start our farm. We'll be happy.
And if anybody wants to like help fund us for that.
There you go.
Actually, we don't even have anything set up. So I don't know. Or suggestions.
All right. Are we out?
We're out.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Make sure to follow and subscribe so you can tune in next week.